where you break down the biggest moments, hottest takes, and the wildest stories from the world of pro wrestling. Whether you're a diehard fan or just stepping into the squared circle, we're here to give you the real scoop on everything happening in the ring.
I'm your host, RJD, and we're about to take a ride through the latest and greatest in pro wrestling. Get ready for all our hot takes, deep dives, and all the wrestling you never knew you needed.
Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button and join What the Wrestling family so you never miss an episode. Now let's step into the ring.
Oh, you already know what time it is. WWE Backlash, everybody. Yes, there was a pay-per-view the other day. It happens. Maybe you missed it. Who knows? But we are not going to waste any more time. We're going to get into this pay-per-view and we are going to talk about the loss of a legend. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. Let's go. Yes. Tis I, RJD here. Welcome to What the Wrestling. First things first. We're going to cut the music off. So, breaking news. I think after Backlash, the next day, we had the loss of a legend. This OG right here. This OG right here by the name of SABU, real name Terry Bunk, passed away at the age of 60. The tweet went out. A bunch of tweets went out yesterday. A bunch of tweets went out. A lot of superstars responding, but unfortunately, Sabu has passed away. WWE put up WWE is saddened by the loss of Terry Bunk, known to fans as Sabu, has passed away. WWE extends its condolences to Sabu's family and friends. AEW also put up AEW in the wrestling world mourns the passing of Sabu. From barbed wire battles to unforgettable high-risk moments, Sabu gave everything to professional wrestling. Our thoughts are with his family and his friends. So Sabu has passed away, and there's not really much on what happened. It's just that a bunch of people are reporting he passed away. He was only 60 years old. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is scary. I have a mother who is 60, so way too soon, way too young. Another wrestler going way too young, way too soon. I remember Sabu the first time I watched ECW, but I caught on to ECW late, so a lot of things I saw were old tapes and that people used to have that they recorded from pay-per-views, or it was that they put on CD, and I watched it 5-10 years later. I watched some of the stuff with when they rebranded ECW. A lot of those I don't know if it's WWE or WCW. They used to sell these like moments. They had one where it was like the ladder match, and they had a bunch of ladder matches, and they had one with ECW One Night Stand. They had a bunch of stuff. And I caught on to ECW like around that wave, but that 2000, 2001, 99, 98, if I went to a friend's house and they were watching it, and I was blown away by the things that I was seeing on ECW. I mean, it was violent, it was hardcore. When I think of ECW, I think of Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, Rob Van Dam, Sabu, Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow had that crazy ass pay-per-view match when Taz came out the damn floor like it was nuts. And I remember watching that like oh my goodness, like what am I watching? And I remember Sabu was a big staple, and you can't talk ECW, especially in those days, without talking Sabu. And like I said, I didn't watch a lot of that stuff in the moment. I caught a lot of it later. Some stuff I did, some of the pay-per-views I did catch in the moment, and it was like, wow. But I just remember Sabu for doing the craziest freaking, like, innovative, craziest things. You're not gonna tell me this OG right here didn't influence a lot of the wrestlers we see today with some of the crazy stuff he was doing, because nobody was doing the stuff that he was doing back then. Nobody. And I mean, I don't know if he was just jumping up there and just thinking about it on the fly, or jumping up there and saying, you know what, let me try different things. But he was absolutely killing it back then. A legend in the game, gone, but never, ever, ever forgotten. Sabu's name will live on forever. And it's crazy to see that he had his last match. He took some hellacious punishment. And I mean, he's taking more punishment than like Naruto Uzumaki, man. Like, I don't understand, like, the amount of pain and punishment at the barbed wire match I recall back in the day that he had, where he was like, they like taped him up, and it was absolutely crazy. You would never see anything like that today. It just wouldn't fly. But it just wouldn't. Not in this PG PC era. You wouldn't see that stuff. But the crazy stuff that he was doing and the crazy matches he was having, staple in ECW, gone but never forgotten. Sabu, rest in peace to a legend. He is and will always be one of the OGs. He should be one of the ECW OGs. He should be in the Hall of Fame. And hopefully, unfortunately, you like to see people go in the Hall of Fame when they're actually alive, so you could give them their flowers while they're here. But he'll be in eventually. And man, oh man, what he did, putting his body through all of that for the fans, for the glory, for our entertainment, we will never ever forget. So, Don DeMarco, rest in peace to Sabu. Gone but never ever ever forgotten, ever. All right, let's get back to it. So, Backlash couldn't go on without showing Sabu some love. But Backlash. Listen, I'm going to be honest. We're not going to sit up here and say Backlash was a bad show, y'all. We're not going to do it. We are not going to do it. I will not allow you to do it and say Backlash was a bad show. Now, is Backlash going to be one of those shows that it's like, oh my God, it was the best thing since sliced bread? No. But we are not going to sit here and act like Backlash was a bad show, because Backlash was not a bad show. Backlash was great. Backlash was absolutely great. And I'm glad the first two matches, like, I don't know what it is, but LA Knight, we're going to put some respect on his name. Jacob Fatu, a star in the making. We had a surprise person jump up in here by the name of Jeff Cobb, who we knew was signed, but we were just waiting for him to come on in. And Jeff Cobb may not be a huge guy, like 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", but he's very strong, and he is a tank of a man is Jeff Cobb. So let's start off at the top. Backlash, we had the fatal four-way Fatu, Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, and Damian Priest. This was all gas, no brakes from the jump. A lot of things going on here. What ends up happening, we're going to fast forward towards the end, is Priest and McIntyre end up fighting towards the back, and then Priest does the South of Heaven onto Drew McIntyre off of one of those TV truck suitcase things onto two tables, but it appears that that Drew McIntyre might have hit his head on the concrete. I hope not. I hope he banged his head on the table and not the concrete, but I couldn't really tell. But they were checking on him, and hopefully, he doesn't have a concussion or a knot on his head or anything crazy. But they basically took themselves out of the match, and then LA Knight had the match won, but Jeff Cobb comes out of nowhere and whacks him, throws him up against the post, and then we see Solo Sikoa there with Jeff Cobb, and they're sitting there, and Jacob Fatu is just looking at them like, bruh, nope. I told you not to get involved. You stupid. He was not happy about that, but after that, he runs up in there, takes a sweet time. After Jeff Cobb serves him up on a silver platter, and then he hits him with the moonsault and calls it a day. I swear to God, the modern, somebody said he is the Samoan Jeff Hardy. And I think they might be right. We are going to put respect on Jacob Fatu. I already knew, because I knew about Jacob Fatu in the Indies, and I was like, when this guy gets to when I heard they signed him, I was very happy. I was very happy for him. And when they signed him, I was like, when they let him loose, he's going to overshadow everybody. And besides being a good promo, and besides being just that BMF type bad mother effer walking down the street, Jacob Fatu is just very dynamic in his own way, and he's a big man who he's very athletic for a big man, very strong, and they could keep this bloodline stuff going forever, but because they got so much family, so much history, so many, great Samoans, they could keep this bloodline stuff going forever. But when he got up there, I was like, when they let him off the leash, oh, it's over. He's going to be a bad guy that the people are going to force to be a babyface. They're going to force him to go babyface, or he could be like that, the heel that's cool, because Jacob Fatu is cool. He's a big dude doing lucha libre stuff. It's crazy, but very, very good opener. And then we had Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Listen, we're going to put some respect on Lyra Valkyria's name. These two went out there and had themselves a WrestleMania worthy match. I don't know if this match went 15, 20 minutes. I don't remember. But this was a wrestle. You could have put this match smack dab on WrestleMania, and it would have fit right in. They had themselves just a good wrestling match. Two good, fantastic professional wrestlers having a great professional wrestling match. And this match started off slow, but the crowd got into this match. They really were pulling for Lyra. The thing with Lyra is Lyra Valkyria is really good. She's like really good, and she'll get better at it. Not like she's a bad promo. She's going to get better at promos as time goes on and as she gets that confidence. But in the ring, she's really good. And I was saying that in NXT. I was like, Lyra Valkyria, it's like they didn't go crazy for her. They didn't make a lot of noise for her matches. But I'm like, Lyra Valkyria is damn good in the ring. Like, goddamn, that girl is great. So, and I think that's why they put the title on her and they're rocking with her, because they know backstage how good she actually is. They know Lyra Valkyria is good. She's a very good wrestler. We just need to put it all together, give her a good opponent, and get her familiar with the crowd. And she'll win the crowd over with her work rate, which she has done. And I like the entrance with the woo, dun, 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 woo. So long as she, keeps doing that, and they are going to appreciate her for what she can do. And this was a very good match. And ultimately at the end, they traded roll-ups, and she got the roll-up and got the win. At the end, Becky Lynch did poke her in the eye, and it looked like maybe she poked her a little bit too good, because she was like trying to finish the roll-ups, and she was just like, my eye. Like, it's one thing to sell the eye poke, and it's another thing when somebody actually pokes you in the eye, and then you just, you're doing one of those. But she got her a little bit too good, and then afterwards she got mad. She tried beating her up after the bell. She put the disarmor on her. She left it on, and Becky was mad. The officials came out to try and get her off, and Jason Jordan was like, get out of here. Get out of here. And she got her out of there, but I did not think she was going to win. I thought she would lose, but I like the fact that she won, and she earned it, and she said, I'm a better wrestler than you. And they had a great wrestling match, and she won. So she proved her point. She was right. Next, we had Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom versus El Penta Cero Miedo. Penta. This was a very good match. Solid stuff. The end came where Judgment Day came down for their normal shenanigans. And shout out to, well, first of all, let's put some respect on Dominic Mysterio's name. He hit a suicide dive DDT, whipping out the new move set, and he hit the Oblivion. Shout out to shout out to this girl who's shooting the movie right now. I was about to say Alexa Bliss. Liv Morgan. Shout out to Liv Morgan, who's shooting the movie. Hit the Oblivion for a 2 count. He didn't win with it though. And he whipped out some moves, and we know Penta is Penta. And Judgment Day came down. They provided the distraction for this guy is so stupid. Like, shout out to Finn Balor. He came, they're setting him up, and he's gonna hit Penta. He said, wait, I won't hit him. I'll get the chair. So he runs to go get the chair. Penta gets the better of them, and he ends up getting back in the ring. And he's about to win the match, but El Grande Americano comes out of nowhere, hits him with the loaded mask, and Dominic Mysterio, I think, with the frog splash, gets the win. Shout out to Dom, and the people like Dirty Dom. They booed him. They booed him for years, and now it's over 9,000. It's over 9,000. I can't believe it. Oh my God! Shout out to Dom, man. We like Dirty Dom over here. Next, we had Gunther versus Pat McAfee. And I don't know why people didn't like this match. If you didn't like this match, that's for you. That's for you. This match was fantastic. First of all, what helped this match was the crowd. The crowd was into everything. What helped this match was, listen, Pat McAfee's not a wrestler, and he had one little hiccup. He came in and was trying to do a move, and he jumped over it and he tripped. But that's okay. He kept going, and he made you forget all about it because he didn't stop to think about it. So we didn't stop to think about it. You couldn't process it because the match just kept going. He didn't get a "you fucked up" chant. He didn't get a "oh, you messed up." None of that. They just kept it pushing. But people like Pat McAfee, and you can't just be beating up on Michael Cole. Michael Cole has been in WWE longer than I've been alive. So, I mean, I remember Michael Cole, but he used to do the backstage segments. And he had all that hair, young whippersnapper. Shout out to Michael Cole, man. He's been there for so damn long. But, man, I remember Michael Cole when I was in middle school. Jesus, crazy. But, Pat McAfee, the match was constructed for Gunther to laugh and underestimate him. And when he tried to chop Gunther a couple of times and then he got chopped, and it was just like, oh, yeah, I'm in a wrestling match now. And, they went back and forth. They didn't really go back and forth, but Gunther was playing with his food. And this is what this match was constructed as. He was playing with his food. Pat McAfee had a couple of hope spots, and then Michael Cole got involved and just told him, just end it. It just ended. He pulls Michael Cole in the ring. He's about to hit him with a power bomb. McAfee jumps in, gets him, he kicks him a couple times, kicks him, super kick, and then he tries to do something, but he counters it. And after that, he tried to hit him with a suplex into the ring, but he suplexed him, and then he landed on top of Gunther instead, and Michael Cole held his leg down. He held his leg down and tried to get the cheap win. It didn't work. Gunther kicked out. But after that, he put on a real naked choke, and then McAfee fought out and put him in the choke. but then he got his choke back on, and then he kind of jumped on him, then leaned back, fell on the floor, and choked him out. And this was great. This was great. The crowd, what made it good is the crowd bought into everything. The crowd bought into that Michael Cole near fall. The crowd bought into it all, which made this a very good match. So I know a lot of people didn't care for it. I liked it. I was entertained. I didn't give Pat McAfee a shot in hell, but the hope spots, he got a couple offense in. He looked good. Not like he embarrassed himself out there. We've seen Pat McAfee wrestle a couple of times in a cage. We've seen him wrestle Adam Cole in a very good match. So, I mean, I don't know why people hating on Pat McAfee. Shout out to Pat. Pat was in shape. Looked good. Looked good in there. Shout out to Pat McAfee, man. Put some respect on his name. Put some respect on his name. Moving right along. John Cena versus Randy Orton in St. Louis. Now, I'm going to give this match a huge thumbs up, because they knew Randy Orton wasn't winning. So they gave St. Louis, they just gave them everything at the end of this match. Now, was this match overbooked? Yes. Was there one too many ref bumps? Yes. But I don't care. I don't care. I was entertained. It was great. I hear people complaining, oh, there was too many ref bumps. We had 18 referees out there, and then Nick Aldis came out, and then he RKO'd everybody, and it sucked. I didn't like it. They worked slow, and man, shut up. Oh, my God. This was good, man. Listen, Randy Orton, he's an older gentleman now. He always worked a slower style, but Randy Orton could go if he needs to go. And he works a style that works for him. And he's Randy Orton, so we all respect and put some respect on his name. He doesn't got to go out there and do 450s and all this other stuff. He tells a good story in the ring. He's the legend killer. He will kick you in the head, and he will get down in the dumps with you. And that's why Cody had a problem in storyline, because Cody didn't want to get down in the gutter. Randy Orton will get in the gutter. He tried to poke Cena, poked him after, a fake handshake spot. He poked Cena right back. And even the announcers called it. And the announcers were like, this is why Cody didn't want to do. Cody didn't want to get dirty. Randy Orton will get his hands dirty. And we know that. But the good thing about this is John Cena can only do but so much. So it's not like he can't wrestle. I would never say that. The problem is John Cena, he's limited in what he can do. He's an older guy, so he's not going to be taking all those risks. And, he can't. Like, the best John Cena I saw was like when he was going against AJ Styles, when he was doing those matches. Though John Cena was like, I started to appreciate. I'm not gonna lie, I started to appreciate him more after that, because then I had to go back and watch all of those other matches, 5 Moves of Doom and all that crap. Because I'm like, John Cena really, when he wants to, he could really go out there and tell a story, and he really can wrestle. Like, why did I feel he was so overrated for so long? And I think it was because we didn't want Cena to be the guy. Vince wanted him to be the guy. And so we kind of rebelled. As a fan, I rebelled, and I was like, man, Cena sucks. But no, Cena didn't suck. Cena been a good wrestler. They were shoving him down our throats. So the fans were rebelling against it. That's what that was. But Cena, we got to put respect on his name. Now, he's not the same Cena from 5-10 years ago, which is cool. Everybody gets old. Age catches up with everybody. But what they did was they worked the slower style. They took their time. And then at the end, we got RKO. We got another RKO. And we got an AA. We got another AA, STFU, RKO. And they did a whole bunch of stuff. But big move after big move after finisher after finisher after finisher. And WWE tends to do this sometime, where they do finisher after finisher after finisher after finisher. And that's one of the reasons why that second Rock match with Cena, people didn't like, because it was like, your finish, my finish, your finish, my finish. You see, when you got a 25, 30-minute match, and at the last 10 minutes of the matches, it's just finisher after finisher at the finisher. People don't like it. So, I mean, it gets old. Like, do something else. But they worked a great style. They worked a great match. I love the bells. See, when you get a match like this, once in a blue moon, it don't bother me. Like a ref bump, another ref bump, another ref bump. Oh, this is crazy. What's going on here? It don't bother me. But when you get it in every single match, that's when it becomes a problem. This was great. This was great. So let's fast forward to the ref bump. So they had a good back and forth match until about the first ref bump. So after that ref bump, he had the first RKO. Referee came up, got Cena some extra time. Cena kicked out. Outside the ring, there was accidental collision with the referee again. And Orton gave Cena a taste, landing an attitude adjustment onto the announce table. So here's what happened now. These new fancy announce tables are very nice. We like that. But the table didn't break. So the table was like, I don't care. So Randy Orton, I guarantee you, Randy Orton or the referee or somebody called the audible, and he said, you're going through this mother effing table. We're going to put you through a table. You're getting put through a table. So Randy Orton looked, didn't see anything. He looked, didn't see anything. Went to the other side of the ring, found the table, put it up. Crowd went crazy, and they basically redid the spot. They redid the spot, and he caught him with the attitude adjustment through the table, and he was like, "You're going through a table. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if this table," because he went through the table, but it broke after the fact, so it looked bad. Randy Orton didn't care. He was like, "Your ass is going through this table." So after that, he puts him through, puts an attitude adjustment through the table. Took a break. Continued to beat up Cena, but couldn't catch a break. Landed 2 RKOs. The replacement referee came in a little bit too late, and he got clocked with the title when Cena worked his way back to his feet. He got clocked with the title. He got hit with another RKO. Then Nick Aldis comes down with a bunch of WWE staff, and then we had an RKO party. It's over 9,000. And Randy Orton was just like this. So you get an RKO, Nick Aldis. You get an RKO, backstage guy. You get an RKO, backstage guy. You get an RKO. You get an RKO. Only person didn't get an RKO is Jason Jordan. Everybody, it was an RKO party. Everybody got a goddamn RKO. And this is, at this point, everybody's going crazy. Everybody's like, oh my God, this is great. And they can feel it. Randy's about to win. They can feel it. Randy Orton's about to win. And then he's setting up for the punt kick. We all know it's coming. And who comes out but R-Truth? R-Truth runs out, and everybody's like, what the hell are you doing out here? And then after that, the infamous dick kick. He hits Randy Orton in the dick, hits him with the AA, and gets the 1, 2, 3. So sad, so sad. John Cena's new finisher is kicking people in the nuts. That's his new finisher. So John Cena wins, which I predicted he would win. And funny enough, R-Truth got put through a table at the media scrum after Backlash. So that happened. So who knows what they're going to do with that. But all in all, this was a very good pay-per-view, a very good main event. Now, if we had gotten something like this from WrestleMania, the WrestleMania main event would not have been as bad as it was. This was better than the WrestleMania main event. How, Sway? How is this better than that WrestleMania main event? Tiger uppercut. Finish it. Just fatality.
Stop it. Get some help.
But this was very good. It was a very good main event on a very good show. And listen, the B shows like the Backlashes and the Great Balls of Fires, and they're hit or miss, but this was a hit for me. Strong hit for me. So that is all I got. Monday Night Raw today. Everybody take a look. Everybody, let's see how they follow up with this. This should be fantastic. Looking forward to it. And we are going to keep the ball rolling. So with that being said, I am RJD. This is What the Wrestling. Hit the like button as always. And I am out. Everybody be safe. I'll holler at you